Oh, you know, let me start by saying hello. Welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. If you don't already know, my name is Nelson. And a few days ago, I shared a post about the fact that, our characters in RPGs, campaigns and one shots included, tend to rack up large body counts. And after about 20 minutes of deep, semi philosophical self reflection and emotional exploration, I realized my mic was muted. So, yeah, that's what I get for trying to get all brain like on a single cup of coffee. So, this is the next try. This is the next cup. The intention of the question, which Ivan Mike made a video reply to. I'll link Ivan Mike below. Ivan Mike, thank you for video replying, because you're right. It should have been in this realm of videos in the first place. This is what we do. So, the intention of the question was, when killing all these sort of sentient beings, when taking all of this life, it's easy for us as a player to rationalize it because it's simply a fiction. A lot of players, like Ivan Mike said, enjoy entering that realm for simple escapism. I just had a bad day at work and I want to beat the snot out of some orcs or something. Great. Fine. The intention of the question posited is not to try to shoehorn deep internal reflection in a game where all you guys do, is beat up orcs. That orcs are bad because orcs are orcs. And that's just what orcs are. And that's the, that is a truth of the setting and the game. It's also not a way to sort of push to levy more responsibility on GMs. While I myself, I don't have a problem asking those kind of questions of you just killed something, it was like this, how do you deal with it? When I see that kind of capability in certain players, or when I notice that capability in certain players, to say that it is the GM's responsibility, which in effect was a few of the comments in the shared post, is kind of silly to me. How does a newer GM that really wants to get into the world, and someone who is not tainted by the structure of these games over the years, like some of us grognards are, that their minds and their imaginations are fresh and they want to explore that and really delve into that, how are you going to say, well, you got more responsibility, son? It really is the responsibility of the player to engage in all things that their character is, their external and internal actions and reactions, emotions, their cause, the effects. It really is about the player. I mean, player empowerment. Good God, no, that's an entire other series of discussions. Let me stop right there. To try to keep this video nice and short in comparison without getting too semi-philosophical, the question is, how do you, or how could you, as a player, have this fictional character in which you are representing rationalize the taking of life? On the discussion, on the post, there are very many great suggestions. One of which was, I can't take life because I'm an orc, and orcs are the only people. Treating others as if they're not people is a way of rationalizing taking life. That's fine. Being trained to kill, desensitized to death, is another way. Those desensitized to death are often desensitized emotionally as well. They don't feel much. Love, it doesn't affect them. Hate affects them less. They don't feel as strongly, or they don't feel certain emotions as strongly. Those are all things to add to your character. The method of dealing with taking life does not need to be a protracted role play engagement. If that's not what the genre calls for, if that is not what the table calls for, then smaller notes of who your character is adds a great deal of depth and allows you to explore your character and allows others at the table to explore your character as well, to see them grow and unfold and interact, and over the course of, say, a campaign or even smaller sagas, find out the motivations for why your character is behaving the way they are, or to watch as those motivations change, alter, and morph over the course of a game, which I think is amazing. So yeah, some ideas. Personally, I hope that I myself can remember these things while in a game, because I do like to have characters of greater depth. Dehumanizing, or looking at other sentient races as if they were not people, is a way of dealing with this. Being desensitized is another way of dealing with it. Growing up surrounded by death, say, even so much as you're the only child of 7 children to have survived to adulthood, which, back in the days of where many fantasy settings are actually set, is an actual truth of the reality of that setting. What the setting is based on, these sort of dark or middle-aged European settings. They have a lot of nastiness going on that is never touched in many games, which is why I really fucking Marquise, Chris, y'all my boys. Chepe, y'all my fucking boys. All right, y'all go into settings and don't just be like, it's happy-go-lucky. There is a great deal of culture and stuff in there that I watch your guys' games, and I don't see a lot of people really getting into the darkness and nuance of the cultures you guys build. I've played in some of your games, and it's a lot harder to it's a lot easier from the outside looking in. So I freaking hope that I do your guys' settings justice when I'm in them. I really do. And I would hope that any player is like that, because, all right, this is already getting to 9 minutes. Let me sort of wrap this up in a quick saying. Not a quick saying. I'm going to ask a question. The arguably fucking most popular game in our communities right now is Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. So, when creating a D&D character, one of the things you do is choose the character's background before choosing the character's class. How does having an entertainer's background and not the gladiatorial variant but just the normal entertainer, and then taking the fighter class happen. The background, the life, a person, a character growing up as an entertainer, a juggler, a poet, a dancer, whatever form of entertainment that they're providing, how does that entertainer grow up to become a fighter? Someone trained in taking life, whose every emotion is designed towards that end. And how do they rationalize taking life? Yeah, I'll end it with that, because I can talk forever. Anyone who knows me knows that, so peace.